Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I haven't really done shit like this in a while, but I actually made a decent amount of progress on my mod from the fact that there's now 4 walls instead of just 2, and I've decided I'm going to do another update on my mod and show you guys the current state of the progress. I'm doing this as more of a mod showcase, so take it as you will. Starting with the weapons. Most weapons are still here from last time I showed them off. This one, I don't actually know if I've ever showed it off. It's one I'm currently working on. I do have a model for it in game, but it's not finished actually being coded. Also, I've fixed most of the reasons I've been crashing for this. There is still one I need to remove, which is interactions with experience source for some reason. But once I get that working, it'll be good. On to the second of it, I have now fixed this. So now, I don't even need to have it on that sign anymore. Over here, there's nothing that can stop anything. What is this? I'm sorry, do Zoglins not get pushed down easily? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's a new thing I'm learning about the Zoglin. Yes, the effect now actually is able to push entities down into the ground. Anywhere. Doesn't matter where they're at. Which adds for a whole new string of ways to use this. So, for example, if I use it on myself, also, the whole list of effects currently in this, I'll be showing them all off. I get shoved right down. On to the next one. Put this back. Also, the rest of you, here's its attack stat. It gives the wither effect on hit for all the new people. Here, I'll use just zombified pigment for this. I don't feel guilty about this. It just withers on hit, and it doesn't do a whole ton of damage. Also, please ignore the hit animation. I still also need to change the attack sound. Most of them use the same attack sound for everything. Some do have different ones. Anyways, now onto the Frost Halberd. I'll be showing this one off, but I'll be doing this one more carefully because I do have issues with this one. It's the Frost Halberd. Also, actually, to show it off, I can just do this. It is a halberd made out of ice with a flag out of the back of it. And let me show off these actual other two real quick. Also, they do all have back animations, but I will save that for a later update when I start adding compatibility with another mod. So I don't have to run commands for every single one. This one just lays on its side. I probably will change that later, but... Now this thing's fun little ability. I'm going to fly out a bit to this pig. Activate the ability. I get Frost Armor. It decreases damage I take by 25%. These, every entity within 32 blocks, like this chicken, take 25% increased damage. Now, this might crash me, but I will still try to show it off. Please, goddamn, don't crash me. So obviously, the effect is a little bit broken. I think I have figured out how to fix it, so next update, that will most likely be fixed. Though I still need to do some tweaking to it. Onwards to the next weapon. Also, here's its stat for anyone that wants to see. It does 10 attack damage, 1.8 attack speed. Putting that back. The Mega Bolt Hammer. There is actually 2 versions here. The Mega Bolt Hammer, which I'm not going to actually hit any entity with both of them. You need to remove its ability to do that, but there's riding the hammer, it teleports you in any entity you hit, and then the normal one, which just... I'm not going to show off what this one actually does. That is some code I need to change. Well, most other weapons are fine, though. Here. It just paralyzes them for a split second. Also, as it attacks, it gains attack speed. Ignore the fact that I have paralysis. I don't know what's the cause of that. I quite clearly don't have paralysis, and when I clear effects, it ain't going away. Anyways. It has a 10 and a very slow attack speed. But on every successful hit, its attack speed increases. Also, the effect only lasts for a few seconds. Here's what it looks like. Here's it dropped on the ground. It's just a giant hammer. Okay, now the rest of these should be easier to show off. Sonic Staff. Really simple. Here's what it looks like. Nice. Almost looks like kind of a lotus flower on the end. But this one actually should have no issues. So I use it. I can hit this repeatedly and just keep taking it away. On hit, it gives the Deafening 2 effect. Or the fact that I got Deafening 2 there. That is because I got hit with my own projectile. Onto this one. I actually fixed it, kinda. Now, the normal variation will throw its projectile. On hit, it gives the Deafening 2 effect, which will multiply your damage by 2, because it's level 2. On normal hits of the scythe, it gives Deafening 1, which will only increase your damage by half. Also, the Sonic Health effect. Every hit, you gain Sonic Health. Very clear example of what it does. It cancels out all damage for a single hit. And then it gets removed. And the normal projectile and everything. Now, this is it with the version that has the enchantment Sonic Dash. Oh, don't you fucking run in there. I'm just gonna move you real quick. Okay. Sonic Dash. Does that, and you dash forward towards it. It's simply just a quick dash. Basically, it teleports you to the target on hit. And you keep your look and direction and all that. Also, please don't question why there's currently just 2 different versions instead of the enchantment actually on the weapon. I've ran into an issue in the code, and I'm doing a temporary solution until I fix it. Same with these two. It does this, currently just does the same stuff. Like that. But alternatively, I hit it, and now it also has applied the wither effect, like the withered broadsword. And this one has the dash forward. Okay. Also, here is its model, and here's this one's model. There are some minor modifications between the 2 models. There's Scythe. What am I gonna do? Okay. Onto this fun little weapon. Also, each of them have cooldowns. Wasn't really showing that off. But, here. This one does that. And here's its cooldown. It's currently pretty quick, but I'll be adding a lot of time to that. Also, here's for what it does. It's this effect, Venom 3, and it just obliterates your health bar. It will shred through you even in armor. Example being... Oh shit. Protection 4. It's still shredding through the protection 4, but it does a lot more help. And also, as you can see, it's charged back up by the time. You at least have a chance to survive it in protection 4. See? You survive at half a heart. I will have to be tweaking that a little bit, though, and definitely increase the timer if I'm going to leave it how it is. Also, here's what it looks like. The thrown actual item, though, has the entire top section removed. And shit, that's going to cause some issues. Also, for the others real quick, just going to do a quick ability show off. Use these versions, not the other ones. Pretty decent. Also, they don't hit item frames anymore, so I can use these without consequences. Pretty decent. Also, because the timers are separate, which is nice. Saw the timer on that one earlier. Fuck, I use this effect again. I'm just gonna fly out over here, because I don't wanna... Ah, fuck. Timer on that one. It is a really long cooldown. It lasts for quite a bit of time. It's meant to be like 30 seconds maybe. I need to tweak that one. Oh, it started to go down. Yeah, it's an insanely long cooldown, but well, the cooldown's as long as the effect. So when you get the effect, it's just enough time for you not to have the effect anymore. Also, yes, you can hit yourself with most of the projectiles from this, so be careful. Really long cooldown. Pretty quick cooldown. This one's gonna have an insanely quick cooldown. Okay, on to this one. I don't actually know if this one has a cooldown or not, but you guys get to see the cool little thing it does. This was one I threw in quickly. I need to remodel it, which it will get remodeled. The thing it does isn't even textured too, which is even worse, but this shouldn't cause any issues here. Here's what it does. Need to lower the projectile, but also that is a really high level version of it, so it doesn't normally do that. If anyone is able to tell what it does there, it summons swords. Also, switching game modes before it does that. Yeah, it does not have currently a cooldown. I will be implementing that later. And it just does it on hit. So, onto this thing. This lovely little thing. The compact Gatling. Welcome to the turret. It doesn't actually currently have its animations, but I can do this with it. Shit, that's gonna light the tree on fire. Shit, that's lighting the fucking tree on fire. Okay, well. It's a turret. And I forgot Piglet's still burn, so... Just gonna... Also, they actually aim at the thing they're trying to attack now, which is nice. Okay, just gonna... Okay. Now, this one actually I think does have a cooldown. It's only currently one use. When I get this I need to stop creative moding this shit. Okay. Yes, they're not naturally tamed to you, you just have to right-click them afterwards. Also, here is its cooldown. You will be able to spawn up to 3 before you get hit with this cooldown, though. Also, actually, I will leave this one to just sit here, because eventually it will despawn. They have a certain duration that they will stay spawned in before getting despawned. We will periodically check on that so you guys can know what I mean. On to the next weapon. This one is actually a dual weapon, but I'll show each section separately. So, it currently just has a default projectile from the deafening shit. Up. Vanished, but it's still technically there. Small issue that's going on, but it's not actually there. Well, actually is still there. I need to fly out far enough so that I can de-render and then re-render. F3. Okay, it's just gonna be the problem child. Yeah, okay, it's actually gone. Oh, no, it is not. Again, it is the problem child. Yeah, it's just here, but not here. It's the problem child in this mod. I'll fix that eventually, though. Don't you worry. Anyways, it's a little knife. It has really quick attack speed. This ain't gonna be your primary weapon that you're using. It's actually your support weapon, along with the other weapon right here. This is the Abyssal Sax Knife and the Abyssal Throwing Knife. They will be able to work together to parry attacks. This is actually a shield right now. When you have it in your offhand or wielding this thing, when I eventually finish it, you will be able to block. You will not normally be able to block with this. Instead, it will be a projectile where when you will hit someone with the back of it, and they will be stunned for a split second, so you can get a counter-strike. And when you parry someone, say they're using an axe and you parry them, they'll be knocked back a little bit, and then for like half a second be paralyzed. Well, stunned. Stuff like that. So that you can get your counter-strike in. Also, I do need to actually change up the throwing projectile to the knife itself, but for now it's that. Now, onto this. Also, yeah, it's not shown on the wall for some reason. You need to move its model forward. Anyways, onto the second wall. Also, it's just this item again. I'm not going to re-show it off. But actually, here you go. You guys can get your models shown off here. Do need to tweak that one a little bit, but for the most part, they're alright. So them in the item frames and all that. Every single piece in the Gatling turret is actually here in the spawn egg for it. And now onto this. The Sonic Shield. Ironically, it's a massive shield. Does pretty good for defense. We'll be repositioning this though later on for actual blocking. It goes around your arm. It actually looks really decent, shockingly. Also, the warding cannot currently break the shield, and I think I'm going to leave it like that. Because the Sonic set's mostly meant to be counter to anything sound-based, so leaving it so that this warden wouldn't actually be able to do anything against it, at least knock it down-wise, is kind of nice. Also, go ahead and look at that model. Also, it can go on your back. It looks like you're wearing a massive cape. It is awesome. Anyways, there will be more shields as the mod comes along, just like how many weapons there are. But over onto this section. First of all, I have added more items. There's the Skulk Chitin, the Warden Soul, the Warden Heart, which is dropped by the Warden. Oh fuck, I'm in fucking survival. God damn it, no. this shit, I'm going the quick method for killing him. It's fucking dead. Now this is still gonna take a lot of hits. Also, there's no guarantee he'll drop it, so we're gonna be doing this a little bit. Because it is actually a really low drop percentage. Actually, slash kill at key. Warden. 1, 2. Yeah, you're gonna be out this for quite a bit. And it is a very important item. 3, 4, 5. Oh, and it dropped 2. Okay. It took like 7 wardens and it dropped 2. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, it has a really low drop percentage rate, but you do actually need this item for crafting recipes, along other things, which I'll show off later. Then the withered chitin. And then we're on to the withered bone. Also, this model here uses the same as bone, so you can, and I will actually show this off. Item, replace, entity. Alright, we'll probably actually leave this here the rest of the video too. So yes, this is in here. If anyone knows what this is actually from, this is what actually helps me rework my crafting table to be working again. Thank you a lot to that creator. Coding by Kujo. Yeah, Kujo. Go check him out. I've used his courses to learn how to code mods. Also, yeah, you can still put it in your mouth. You can still put it on your head like a bone, because it's rendered the same as a bone. Now, on to the main part. About this guy. He drops it. It's actually pretty common on him. Just gonna let you know. Okay, now these can go back. Then there's now a new plank variant, skulk planks, a new wood variant, skulk wood, and then skulk planks. I will be adding a stripped variant and the stair and all the rest of it later on. Just know that all exists. And I'll show you how to get it later in this video. Onto this side. There is now a new moth added to the family. Starting with the ice moth. Look at the little guy. He's a little snowman. Also, they now fly. They all fly now. I got it working. They all fly again. And they will actually wander around. Randomly. When they decide to. You son of a bitch. There you go. Okay, yeah, you can go away. Some are more active than others, I'll be honest, from what I've seen. Also, its taming item is snowballs. I'll probably leave it that way. On to the Watcher Moth. I don't know if I've shown this one off either. Look at the Watcher Moth. Its taming item is Eye of Ender. They all can randomly wander around. So they are all tameable. Though, in survival, taming-wise, they will be aggressive. They will become angered around you. Unless you are wearing a specific set of armor. And each set of armor will be associated with each type of moth you want to tame. So, example, if you want to tame this one here, you'd have to wear its type of armor. Up first try. Then there's this little guy, who is a nuisance. Also, they do randomly wander around. Also, I swear to God, I tamed you, but... This should be its taming item. I don't know why that's not working. Let me try something else. Okay, that is its tame item. Okay, I just don't have its animations. But it is actually tamed. Okay. Now, those who have seen this prior, you know what effect it gives on hit. I will show the rest of you, though, now. / effect, give, Skybane, Mothery, Nature Sports. I'm not just summoning this thing in. / effect, clear. I'm just gonna really turn down the fucking effect. 4, 3, 2, 1. It turns you into a nuclear bomb. Now, actually, there is an implemented way to just not have to drink milk to remove it. Well, not really remove it, but not have it activate. I will leave that up to interpretation on how for you guys to experiment when I release this to figure out how the effects can be disabled by not drinking milk. Also, drinking milk will not remove the effects in this mod. So, just go ahead and just experiment some when you guys eventually get this and try it out. It actually kind of makes sense what I did. On to the next one. Also, yes, it uses this item to tame. I changed over from the Wither Skull to this. Also, it's still as derpy as the day you last saw it. Still need to fix its item. This one just gives the Wither effect. Also, it drops an item. It drops Withered Chitin. Actually pretty common. It is an item that you will need for certain recipes. On to this one here. Also, its animations are very broken. Please, I will be re-rendering this thing and reanimating it later. Also, currently it's missing its 2 front legs. Say it moves around. Oh, it moved around. Okay, I'm guessing it's got its front leg! Also, so simply put, this one just shoots fireballs at people. Gotta kill it, though, because it becomes really annoying. I will be fixing its animation later. And on to my favorite. Also, you did see that, right? You did see what item I had in there as its taming ingredient. It is going to be a real pain to tame. Not going towards that. No, thank you. Oh, yeah, it's the one that moves the most commonly, actually. Okay, what the... Oh, it was setting, okay. Yeah. It is the most common moving one from the mod so far. It's also pretty quick, agile. But it's your little guy. This is the guy that I've made into emojis on my Twitch. If anyone you who wanted to know what that originally came from and what that for the emojis I've been using. He is obviously quite seriously my favorite. Anyways, that hurts more than I thought it would. But I'm gonna ignore the fact that I did that. Okay, on to this. The GUI is now different for the crafting table. And I don't want to show off the crafting recipes. Fuck. I wanted to leave them mostly a mystery. I will leave the crafting recipes a mystery. Did I forget the stick on this wall? Okay, item I forgot. I will add it to the wall later. There is now Skulk Stick. How you craft it, you will never know. But it is a different crafting recipe than the normal stick. It just adds a few blocks. You will figure it out. Actually, I can use this thing. Yeah, I can use this thing. This is not a recipe I'm actually that scared about giving away. So I can actually show this works. This is a recipe I don't feel guilty about giving away. here's the recipe. It works. All actually works. Okay, now here's a closer look at the two models on these two. See, it's missing its two front legs, and then there's this guy, who is an explosive menace. They actually look pretty similar, if anyone notices. It's because this one is a hybridization of this moth and one that's not currently added. It is a variant of both. You get them by breeding them together. Now over here, the fun little thing I did. Take out the Ravager. Grab the scythe. I place the Ravager down. And I start moving. If anyone sees what happened here, I made it so all planks can be infected and turned into the Skulk variant. Supposedly. I still need to confirm that for some, but as you can see, for the most part, all the ones that were here got turned. Another one. Ah, fuck. Kill it. Okay, infected that. I don't know if it's infecting warped and the other thing. If it's not, I will be tweaking that so that it does. I really don't want this to reach the surface, because I don't need a Skulk biome popping up. I really don't need a Skulk biome popping up in my test world, in this world. I already have one in my test world. It's the funniest thing ever. Okay, well, it definitely infected the log variant. I don't think it infected... Oh, it infected the bamboo. Okay. Nice. Also, yes, you can be a menace with this to your friendly village. But use this power wisely. Okay, I'm gonna take it as it can infect both. It's just choosing not to for some reason. It infected one of the two, meaning both are in the list of changeable items. Just wanted to show off that this was changeable, and these count as Skulk blocks. Fun. It did not change. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. I'll put another Ravager here. Okay, it infected both. Okay. Everything has changed over. Proof of my example of what I meant. Everything is infectable by Skulk now for wood variants. Also, I will be adding a stair and a slab variant soon. How I did this was actually fucking stupid. I hated this. This took forever. I hate it. Also, I have so many saddles now. I'm also going to keep the scythe on me for this upcoming part. If anyone else can guess what I'm about to do next. I tweaked the fucking Skulk Screecher. For all of you to see. Or something. Wow! Wait, don't tell me it didn't. Wow! The odds of that, god damn! These should be fucking off. That is so rare. Sorry, I'm like shocked that all the wardens. Okay, now that the warden's dead. Now I can try this again. That is actually a really rare phenomenon. What the fuck are these odds? This is some bullshit. What the fuck? This is like a 33% chance. Well, no, he did start. What the fuck? I almost never have this happen in the test run anymore. I'm not joking. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, I've blown my mind with how many times this happened. Stop walking towards the fucking blaze mob, my motherfucker. Okay. Again. The fuck? What are the goddamn odds? Sorry, I'm like over here completely like dumbfounded by what's happening here. This is not normal. This never happens in my tests. Normally, I get screwed in my tests. Because that's what this thing does. I even tested it prior on here. I know this works. I had it work. Before recording. What the fuck is wrong with this? Okay, so we all saw I had the warden killing. You're too fucking close. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna delete the catalyst. Okay, now that's all settled. Now I can just keep looping this. Okay! It should fucking happen. As you can see, the Skulk Moss can now spawn from here. Now, if I actually have my odds play into my favor, you guys can see something funny. I don't know how many attempts this is gonna take. Based off how bad my odds were earlier. That isn't common, so I don't use it actually. I might have to increase the odds of that happening. Also, yes, as you guys can see, a lot of Warden Hearts aren't dropping. I know they're not goddamn Warden Heart, too. Oh, okay. One little thing happened here. Skulk Moth spawned, and the Warden spawned. And the Warden won't attack the Skulk Moth. It treats it as a friend. They treat each other as allies. Also, I'm gonna fucking kill you now. I want to actually have the increased odds now happening, so I can do proper explaining of what I mean. Also, yes, it can spawn a Skulk Moth with the Warden. Stop spawning one. My god, that is a 1 in fucking 3 chance. Stop doing that shit. My god! What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm confused by my own mod. The odds of what is happening here is so low. This isn't common. So, I just... What the? It spawned only one. Goodness sake. Please let me roll the fucking dice and get, like, a shit ton of these little fuckers. So okay! Okay. This lets me at least go into the segue of explaining what I did. So, I have made it so that when this thing spawns, it rolls a 50% chance of spawning a Skulk Moth or a Warden. I will probably increase that, actually. And then if it lands on Skulk Moth, it rolls a 3-sided dice. 1, it spawns another Skulk Moth. You guys just saw that. 2, it spawns the Warden, like it just did. And 3, it can land on nothing, and it will just spawn that original Skulk Moth. Which is a nice little thing. But, unfortunately for you, if it lands on the Skulk Moth again, it will then run the algorithm again, going for that same roll. So, theoretically, you can get, like, a ton of Skulk Moths. Now, I have... So, but there is a cap setting. You can get a maximum of 10 Skulk Moths with it rolling a 2-sided dice at the end. And if it rolls a 1, it's on the Warden. If it rolls a 2, it it spawns nothing, and it just spawns all 10 of those Skulk Moths. Also, Skulk Moths do not cancel out the Skulk Screecher, so it can activate again. But, here's the thing. The Skulk Moths are able to activate the Skulk Screechers and Skulk Sensors. So they themselves can spawn another Warden. So, and this could go on for a while, honestly. I'm not putting a cap on it. If that happens, that is not to let those Skulk Moths get the Skulk Screechers. Which is... In testing, the max I've actually had spawn with a Warden was 5. I want to see if I can get that to happen here so you guys can actually see this. Yes, there was 2 there. It doesn't normally spawn a whole lot, but if you get really unlucky, it can. Also, yeah. So, you have the normal Warden spawn. 50% chance, let me point that out. But the other 50% chance leads to Skulk Moth. And then the Skulk Moth army spawning in. Also, so the Skulk Moth's main purpose is actually a damage multiplier. It adds aerial support to the Warden, and it increases the amount of damage the Warden will do to you if you are hit by any of its projectiles. Also, yes, this is actually a pretty common drop. The Warden part is what's used to actually. Fucking goddamn! What is this fucking aerial support? But in an ancient city, this starts to add up quickly. Also, obviously, Skulk Moths are a pain to fight when they're teamed up with the Warden. But they will become neutral to you if you're wearing a specific type of armor, which, if you can figure that out, good for you. It is something obvious. Also, something I will reveal for most of the crafting recipes, they are obvious if you actually see them next to the item. You should be able to figure it out. I'm not going to give any hints, though, because I don't want to spoil anything. Just, I want you guys to at least have some little fun when you guys are playing the mod and figuring stuff out for yourself. Also, the Warden is a pain to kill than anything other netherite, so, yeah. Also, I will say this, most of this goes off netherite, so this is more later term items and whatnot. Well, I can't seem to get the 10 out of 10 odds for this, so I can't seem to roll the dice high enough. Just know it is possible to get 10 moths in a Warden in a single spawn. Also, if the Warden spawns, that Skulk Screecher will not spawn anything again if it's within range of it, like normal. But the Skulk Moth does not affect that. For reasons. And they are little nuisances. They can fly. But they are also the favorite child of this mod pack. The Skulk Moth is the favorite child of this mod pack. Well, mod. Okay. I'm gonna do like one more and see what happens. I really wanna hope you can get the 5 out of 5 for this, but... Also, for those of you that actually stuck around the whole video, thank you for watching. I will say this, actually, I will show something off, too, before we end this. But I will also say this while I'm at it. For any of you guys wondering about my schedule and that, I did just recently get a new job. So that's one of the reasons my upload schedule has been so weird. Look at that. It's almost like I have a cape on. Also, it will replace your cape while you're wearing it when it eventually physically comes out. But it looks actually pretty decent. Also, the handle goes into your back. Before you activate that shit. Look how nice this actually is. And it will be tied to your cape physics, though, for movement. So it will be like you have a custom cape on. Which will be nice. Anyways, now that's all over. Thank you all for watching. It was really nice having you all here watch this mod for this mod showcase. I hope you guys actually liked what you've been seeing with the progress of my update. Thank you all and see you all next time. Goodbye!